Elon Musk plans to die on Mars. We all know that Elon Musk, the world's richest man and CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, is very serious about starting a colony on Mars. Exactly how serious? Well, dead serious it seems. Apparently the father of 10 plans to die on Mars. Want to know more about it? Stay tuned for the video. But before we begin, welcome to Elon Musk Times, the place to be for news about Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and today, Elon's wish to die on Mars. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit the bell icon to never miss a video. And now, let's dive right in. Most people don't think about death until they suffer a major illness or get old. Not Musk, though. He already has his heart set on where he wants to die and be buried, and it's on Mars. In some of their ads regarding the interstellar journey to Mars, SpaceX and Musk have played around with the fact that you could lose your life on the mission to Mars, and Musk has his heart set on dying there. Since Musk founded SpaceX in 2002, understanding Mars and colonizing it has been a priority for the company. And Musk, who amassed wealth in the IT industry before founding SpaceX, has long been open about the dangers of sending people to Mars. Musk suggested that the first people to visit Mars should be, quote, prepared to die, end quote, at the International Astronautical Congress in 2017, and apparently himself included. In an interview, which was broadcast live for more than an hour and 19 minutes on YouTube on April 22nd, Musk referred to early 20th century British explorer Ernest Shackleton, whose ad for a crew of explorers read, "Men wanted for hazardous journey." Musk said, quote, "Going to Mars reads like that ad book for explorer Ernest Shackleton going to the Antarctic," end quote. He continued, quote, "You might not come back alive, but it's a glorious adventure, and it'll be an amazing experience," end quote. "It's dangerous, it's uncomfortable, and it's a long journey. It's a difficult and dangerous journey where you may not survive, but it's a glorious adventure." Lastly, he said, quote, "You might die, and you probably won't have good food and all these things," end quote.
It would be hard living in the beginning on Mars, not like a luxury situation.
So who are the first people that go live there?
Pioneers. Well, the first people that go to Mars, it's going to be like dangerous, might die, food probably not good, it's going to be a long and difficult trip, probably a lot of pain and danger.
While of course this still sounds appealing, as it is exciting, because who wouldn't go headfirst into the unknown for a chance at immortality? If they'd need a YouTube crew, you know we'd be interested. But Musk still saying things like this as he did in the past is saying something. Why? This is because while the possibility of colonizing Mars still is a long shot as humans, we have taken significant strides in honing our space traveling. The advancements made by SpaceX in human spaceflight are even more. 4 more astronauts were sent to the International Space Station on April 23rd as part of SpaceX's Crew 2 mission aboard the company's Crew Dragon spaceship. In addition, the business now has a contract with NASA for space flight to transport people beyond Earth orbit for its Starship spacecraft, which is still being tested at SpaceX facilities close to the Texas community of Boca Chica. NASA's Human Landing Systems program has awarded SpaceX a contract to design and construct a lunar lander for the Artemis mission, which intends to put people on the moon as soon as 2024. Still, with all these, Musk has not set the possibility of a catastrophe at zero. Nevertheless, Musk would like to be one of the first people to start the terraforming process, and the only thing holding him back is the thought that SpaceX still needs him alive. If you don't take our word for it, take Musk's. Our cosmos is as beautiful as it is deadly. That's why it's so hard for us to exist on any other planet. Every place outside Earth is looking to kill you, and would surely do so if you don't take necessary precautions or follow standard procedures. Think about it. Even on Earth, our beautiful and perfect planet, we don't get to live very long. As a species, we are built to die, and space travel is one of several thousands of ways to accomplish this. So what can kill you on a trip to Mars? While flights to the moon and the International Space Station, relatively brief missions, have taught NASA and other space organizations how to protect human life, scientists still research and prepare for longer voyages through deep space. NASA's Human Research Program expects 5 significant risks for the human crew on a future voyage to Mars. Firstly, there is radiation. Sounds basic. You've got your x-ray taken, like what, 5 times, and you're still okay? So how bad can it be? Most people know that excessive radiation exposure can have negative health effects, yet the radiation levels on Earth are nothing compared to what astronauts will endure when traveling to Mars. Compared to the radiation that individuals on Earth are exposed to, space radiation is far harsher and more harmful. Even astronauts who reside on the International Space Station, which is encased in the shielding magnetic field of the planet, are exposed to 10 times as much radiation as they would be if they were on Earth. Radiation exposure would pose a considerably larger threat to anyone traveling across outer space. Outside of the protection provided by the Earth, radiation can raise the risk of developing cancer and harm the central nervous system, altering cognitive function, reducing motor function, and altering behavior. Potential risks for lengthy voyages into deep space don't always stem from the universe's unknown threats. Humans are responsible for some risks as well. Behavior problems are unavoidable when large groups of individuals are kept in a small area for an extended time. As a result, each group of astronauts that will travel to space together on lengthy trips is carefully chosen, trained, and supported. Scientists are aware that isolation can cause problems with sleep as well as a deterioration in mood, cognition, morale, and interpersonal interaction. Because astronauts will be expected to alternate between rigorous tasks and intervals of idleness, NASA anticipates that the journey to Mars will be mentally taxing. Let's also not forget that there could be various forms of malfunctioning to the spacecraft and its parts. A major explosion on the rocket due to one technical failure, or the other would mean certain death. There's also the problem of a lack of fresh food, medical expertise, and such. As the spacecraft continues its journey to Mars, the farther it gets from our planet, the tougher it gets for the astronauts, who expect at least a 20-minute delay for each of their communications to Earth and back. There's also the problem with changing gravity. Humans will encounter 3 different gravitational fields on their way to Mars. The Earth's gravitational field, about 10 newtons per kilogram, will be the starting point for the astronauts. Throughout the 6-month journey across deep space, they will experience weightlessness. On Mars, they'll also do their living and work in a gravitational field 3/8 as powerful as Earth's. The astronauts' bodies will need to adjust when the gravitational field shifts. Shifting from one gravitational field to another impacts a person's balance, mobility, and sense of space. It also has an impact on the heart, bones, and muscles. Because the body isn't pushing against the force of gravity, a person's bone density decreases by 1% every month when gravity is absent. That's quite shocking, to say the least. Anyway, now that you have successfully left Earth and have traveled halfway around the solar system in 6 months, you are on your way to the Red Planet. Landing is the next scariest step. Your spacecraft would be traveling toward Mars at 62,000 miles per hour under Musk's proposal. The ship would next employ numerous tiny rockets firing simultaneously as it descended into the Martian atmosphere to land on the surface of Mars. This landing technique could be risky. The atmosphere of Mars is significantly thinner than that of Earth, therefore there is less friction to slow you down. Even small robots have been difficult for NASA to land on the surface. The Curiosity rover's landing on Mars required an incredible deceleration and parachute system, yet it weighed just 1 ton. Musk plans to land 450 tons, and it could get rough and deadly fast. Let's say somehow you're able to land on Mars unscathed. The race against death doesn't end, as being on Mars is more dangerous than the journey to it. For one, the gravity on Mars is way different from what we have on Earth, so you can imagine all the problems that would come with it. From impaired vision to severe muscle atrophy and reduced bone density, you could be living normally on Mars, and one day, you turn liquid. Jokes aside, you could die from a change in gravity. No one knows for sure. Anyone considering a voyage to Mars must make preparations for the absence of readily available resources for food, water, and oxygen. These obstacles ought to be surmountable. You can bring enough water and food, and we could create tools to split the carbon dioxide on Mars into oxygen and other gases. Accidents pose the main threat. A habitat or spacesuit could rip, causing air to escape. You could die if some of the dust and dirt on Mars plugs a key seal and creates leaks because it is likely to spread everywhere. Basically, you would die from breathing Mars air. Let's not forget the most probable one. Your team members drive you crazy, or worse, somebody suddenly has an epiphany and needs to kill everyone on the team. Hey, it could happen. I mean, the gravity, the air, it could mess with your mental health. But moving on, the first Mars missions could be as hazardous as any in human history. Anyone who signs up must understand that they are traveling to a different planet with a serious possibility that they won't return. Musk himself knows this. It's unlikely that this knowledge will stop any volunteers, though. One of our best traits is our natural curiosity and enjoyment of discovering new places. Alright, so what did you guys think? Would you be interested in a one-way trip to Mars? Please let us know in the comments below, or leave a fist bump if you liked the video. And subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss the next one. Have the best day, and we'll see you next.